Nice. And last one for Dana. Do we have an update on numbers for this card? You've got the return of Conor McGregor. We've got some fans back. But pay-per-view wise, how is this thing trending?
Very good. Yeah, no, this thing's trending great. Yeah, it's good. It's going to be good. There hasn't been, when was there a bad one? Since the pandemic started, there hasn't been a bad pay-per-view. They've all been overperforming. So you can only imagine what this is going to do.
Thank you.
Hey, just a quick one from me as the unofficial lightweight tournament commissioner. I just wanted to get a verbal confirmation, you guys, because, listen, Charles Oliveira with the victory only over Tony Ferguson. He's pretty much through to the semi-finals now. We've got Justin Gaethje probably to come into the mix, but of course it's about you guys, the semi-final spots at stake. Even if one or two of you come out of this weekend and fight for the title, I think most media fans, we want to crown a new undisputed lightweight champion by the end of the year, and I just want to get a quick confirmation
Book it,
from each of you that
I'm
you're
in.
in.
Book it, I'm in.
Yes, sir. Michael, are you in?
Book it.
Dan? Dustin?
Let's go.
Dan?
I didn't even understand the question. Yeah, I'm in.
Thank you. Dana, you're welcome.
All right.
Hey, Conor, you looked like you had something you were about to say there when Dana was talking about the pay-per-view numbers. Want to just
Yeah, it goes without saying. You don't got to come up and talk about EA Sports, UFC selections and all this type of thing when it comes to me. You know, the pay-per-views are trending. The embedded has been record-breaking again. It's almost double. The first episode of the embedded is almost double than all of the other embeddeds that have came out in 2020, bar one, McGregor Cerrone. So it's trending in the right direction. I'm very excited about it. You know, I'm very excited to give these guys a platform here. You know what I mean? And like I said, and I'm happy to hear Chandler say this and Hooker say this. You know, take your chances and reap the rewards here. So that's it. So there's going to be 2 cracker fights, and I'm ready. And as the guy from BT said about the tournament, book it, we're in. And that's amazing. Let's go.
One more for you, Conor. I know you kind of said at the beginning the narrative about your conditioning and everything going into this fight. Can you just expand on that? And why do you think there are those doubts about your cardio?
You know, I think it's a myth. Obviously, I had the Diaz one, the first Diaz fight. I went from featherweight, and then a month or so later, I was at welterweight. You know, that's obviously going to have impact. And then there was other issues. But, you know, I think overall it's a myth, and it's a myth that's, you know, it's out there, and that's it. I hope we can answer it, and I will answer it in time. At some stage, I keep showing up here. You know, someone's going to be able to stay in the pocket with me and stay in there and fight with me. And I hope it's this. I hope it's this Saturday night. Do I think so? I do not. I'm in some shape here at the minute, and I tell you this now. I am coming to put on a masterpiece. So I'm excited about it.
And just one for you, Dustin. I know you said prior to the fight with Dan there that you didn't really like that there was a certain expectation that you would win going in, and you kind of relish being the underdog more. Can you just speak a little bit more to that, and do you feel at your most comfortable going into a fight like this?
I'm not sure if I relish it, but of course I want to be cheered when I walk out, but I'm acquainted with it. I know the feelings, and I've been in this position time and time again. That's just it. I'm just acquainted with it.
Hey, question for Conor. How you doing? I've enjoyed listening to you talk about, you know, getting the frame right for 155, and it struck me that it's kind of crazy that you've only competed there twice. You've been in the UFC for, what, 7 years? You've only competed at 155 pounds twice. Is that your ideal weight class, do you think? Do you think that's where you operate at the highest level?
I've done pretty good in all the other ones as well. Yeah. You know, I've done good in them all. I've secured belts in multiple divisions, and I've secured knockout victories in multiple divisions. I do feel great at this weight, but, you know, whatever I commit to, I feel great at. You know, when I do the welterweight bouts, I feel great. I feel strong and big. I still feel this now. You know what I mean? I feel fast also. So I'm excited to get in and showcase it. Like you said, I have not had that much fights at 155 pounds in the UFC division, or in the UFC. And I'm eager to put in a stint, to get a run going. You know, like I done with the featherweights. I think I went 7 or 8 fights within the space of a year and a half. You know, that's what I'm looking for here. If they can match me up. I know now we've got multiple opponents up on the dais already, so we're in a good spot, and I'm eager to get going and showcase. I feel this is the best I have ever been, for sure, and I'm at 155 pounds. But, you know, if I go back to 170 pounds, you best believe that'll be the best I'll be at also. So it is what it is.
Yeah, and you one tweet that you made, I don't know exactly when you put it up, but you said that after you won the 155-pound belt, you wonder maybe you should have jumped up and gone for that 170-pound belt right away. And I just wonder, obviously things have worked out well for you. The Mayweather fight made you a whole lot of money, but have there ever been, do you think about that sometimes? What would have happened had I not left the sport?
Sometimes I think, man, I should have just stayed in the featherweight division and fought Ricardo Lamas and all those type of guys, you know what I mean? And just been in the featherweight division. I always look to challenge myself and seek greater heights. And you know, although I have been the champion at 155 pounds, I have not had much time at this weight in the UFC, and this is what I wish to do now.
Last thing for you, I wouldn't say that the security team was necessarily concerned about it, but they were very aware that you were going to be in the hotel this week at the same time as Habib. And I was just wondering if that is still a warranted concern, or I mean, have you guys passed that part of your relationship that you could be in the lobby of a hotel and we wouldn't have to worry about anything happening between you guys?
You know, all of those events were 2018. It's now 2021. What I will say is, as long as we fight again, there'll be no issue, and that's it. You know, if he continues to run, well, I'm not sure. We'll see what happens.
And I got one for you, Michael. I mean, obviously you've been asked a lot about being in the new promotion and what it feels like to be in the UFC. I wonder what it feels like to be on the stage with these three gentlemen. And is this a different caliber of opposition that you've been in contact with throughout your career? I mean, is there truth to that, or do you feel like throughout your career you have been, you know, amongst guys who are of the same skill level as these guys?
Overall, this is the toughest competition that I will ever face in my entire life. But I think when you look at my resume, when you look at my track record, guys like Eddie Alvarez, guys like Benson Henderson, these are champions that were here in the UFC. Granted, it was a couple years later, but I've been competing at a high level since I was 14 years old, as I said. So I've been dreaming of this day or visualizing this day just in case it ever did come. And now I'm fully prepared to take the opportunity head on. And absolutely, all these guys are the best in the world. And the UFC lightweight division is the most hyped, most electrified, most energetic division in the UFC today, and it was a perfect time to insert my name into the mix.
Thanks, guys.
This question's for the Diamond, Dustin Poirier. You fought in this country before to unify the lightweight strap against Habib Nurmagomedov. Is this stage greater for you than UFC 242?
It's obviously a huge fight, but fighting for the world title is the biggest fight you can get to me, because that's the reason I fight. I want to be the undisputed world champion. I'm still chasing that goal, and I know this fight here gets me one step closer to that. So,
this question's for the notorious Conor McGregor. What separates the fighter Conor McGregor from the business mogul Conor McGregor?
You know, I bring all of the discipline and the drive that I learned in my martial arts training and preparation and competition into the business world, and it's helped me tremendously. It's why I always would urge any parents around the world to get their children into martial arts, any type of combat sport. And it's not necessarily to compete. If they wish to compete, well, then they can compete. But the things that they learn through martial arts, you know, you cannot learn it anywhere else, and it will translate into many other things, especially the business world. So it's pretty much the same, two of the same.
And lastly, for Michael, you've sized up all of these lightweights now. The last one here is Conor McGregor. You've rubbed elbows with all of them. What do you make of this guy sitting next to you?
Hey, he is exactly who we think he is. He is exactly who he thinks he is. He's got a track record. He's a global superstar for a reason. But all of that doesn't matter when you step inside that octagon when the cage door closes. We all know that. He knows that. But as far as the man, as far as what he's accomplished, as far as, just as you alluded to, outside of the cage, what he's done eyeball-wise, attention-wise for this division, for this promotion, it's nothing short of amazing, and it's awesome to share this opportunity, share this stage with these guys. And it's, as you can see, I think there's a lot of growth up here. I think we've seen a lot of growth in Conor, one of the baddest men on the planet, now one of the most daddest men on the planet. I think all of us, as you alluded to, we're all dads. We all started coming up hungry, humble, and now we're dads and really fighting for a different purpose. So you kind of see that in him, you see that in Dustin, you see that in Hooker, and you see that in myself. So, man, either way.
Buongiorno ragazzoni miei, bentornati su MMA Italia, un piccolo intermezzo pubblicitario per ricordarvi che con il mi piace aiutate il canale a crescere e che con NinjaBet potete guadagnare da 150 a 500 euro al mese extra sfruttando i bonus benvenuto dei bookmakers, e aiutate anche il canale con il codice di affiliazione che trovate nel commento in evidenza. Ciao!
Saturday night, we're all going to go out there, put on a great show. Everybody buy that pay-per-view. Let's go.
Appreciate that, brother. Thank you.
Connor, how you doing, mate? You've evolved so much in your fighting career, but I think you've always been an artist inside and outside the cage with your fighting style and your ability to sum up things in such a poetic manner. But can you just talk to me a little bit about how you define yourself as an artist?
I'm just an insanely driven young man, you know what I mean? I'm passionate about what I'm passionate about, and I give it my all. That's it. I'm a hard worker, true and true. If something needs to be done, Conor McGregor gets it done. Make no mistake about it.
That's awesome. Staying on the topic of art, I wanted to read you a quote from 2013 that you said. It's really poignant, and I think it deserves to be read out in full, so just bear with me. I've lost my mind on this game, like Vincent van Gogh, dedicated his life to his art, and he lost his mind in the process. That's happened to me, but fuck it. When that gold belt is around my waist, and my mother has a big mansion, my girlfriend has a car for every day of the week, and my kids' kids get everything they ever wanted, then it will pay. Then I'll be happy I lost my mind. Can you just reflect and talk to me about how that makes you feel hearing that in 2021?
You know, it's been some ride. I've got it done, and I'm up here, mad as a brush. You know what I mean? I've been through it all, my friend. You know, I appreciate that, and it's been a wild ride for me. It's not been easy at times, but you know, what a life. And I tell you what, I wouldn't want it to be any other way. I'm very excited to be back here. I'm very excited to have fans back in the area. I'm very excited with the competition, the multiple competition. Yeah. I just feel invigorated. You know what I mean? And as you said, about artistry and all, and Vinnie Van Gogh, I'm going to paint a beautiful picture here inside this octagon on Saturday night, and I'm very excited to do so.
Awesome. Thank you so much, mate.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, it's Ahmed Al-Wasiri from Abu Dhabi Sports. The amazing thing about this sport is we've seen the fighters grow in front of us. And like Conor McGregor and Dustin, they're different fighters since they started over here. We know the motivation behind Dustin's fight against Conor McGregor is to beat Conor McGregor and to become the champion within 1 year. But you, Conor McGregor, you fought Jose Aldo and you elevated the standard, and then you fought Eddie Alvarez and you became the double champ, and then you're just elevating standards each time. So beating Donald Cerrone last year, and now you're fighting with Dustin Poirier. What's your motive after this? After 7-8 years of competing in the UFC?
I feel like I'm only starting, man. Everyone kind of wants to, hey, Conor, you've done it all. You're so rich. You're richer than Dana over here. What are you doing here? I'm like, I'm not allowed here. I want to be here. I want to perform for the fans. I'm a young man. I've got many highlights. You know, but all the money, all the belts, everything, that comes and that goes. You know what lives on? Highlights, a fighter's highlights. You look at Roy Jones Jr.'s highlights, Mike Tyson's highlights. I still look at them today, Ali's highlights. I want my highlight reel to be like a movie. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm after. I'm looking to get in and perform and put on amazing highlights that I can sit as an old man with my son and just watch back and just enjoy life. You know what I'll be drinking? A nice proper 12 by the fire in the Emerald Isle of Ireland, and this is it, man. I'm just loving my life. Please don't be trying to get rid of me, guys. I love it here, man. I helped build this. I helped do this. I'm here, and I love it, and, man, I have plenty of motivation, you know what I mean, Dustin's a hell of a competitor. What does the champ do? He does it twice. Okay, I conquered it. Let's conquer it again. You know what I mean? Do it twice. That's what the champ does.
Conor, question down here. Talk to me about how your training camp went in Portugal. I know it was kind of secluded due to the lockdown. You've had secluded camps in the past. Do you think this is something that you want to continue with going forward?
Yeah, I tell you what, it's been a phenomenal camp all across the board. We were in Lagos in Portugal, we were in Dublin, we were in Dubai, and now we finish it up here. Yeah, it was an amazing camp. I have an amazing team of people around me all across the board, from the nutritionists, from my coaches in mixed martial arts, in jiu-jitsu, in boxing, in wrestling, and all my sparring partners. It's a phenomenal team I have, as well as my conditioning coaches. And I'm looking forward to going in and representing all my team's hard work. You know what I mean? We put a lot of hard work in here, and I'm going to go in and do my team proud.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
Who else? Yep, go ahead.
Dustin, everybody's talking about how much you've changed as a fighter since the last time you fought Conor. What would you say is the main thing that changed in your game and that would make a difference this Saturday, whether mentally or physically?
I think technically as well, mentally for sure, technically as well. I mean, 6 years since we fought, you have to evolve to stay at the top of the division for this long, to stay in the company for this long, and just maturity. And I don't care what anybody out here thinks anymore. I used to care too much. I don't care. That's a superpower, not giving a fuck, and that's it.
And Conor, this one is for you. I know you've been asked a lot about this whole Khabib thing, but I'm just curious to know, he said he's looking for something amazing, extraordinary this Saturday for him to change his mind and come back. What do you think he's looking for this Saturday for him to change his mind?
You know, I don't really care. He did not say that. Dana said that. He said he's not, you know what I mean? Let's just get through the fight. You know, all these men are up here. There's plenty of challenges. And, you know, it's a tough business. And the things have gone on in his personal life. I don't wish him any harm. Like I said, it was in 2018. A lot of time has passed. The world knows this fight is not over. You know what I mean? This war is not over. The sport needs it to happen. The people need it to happen. I'm not going to chase it if he doesn't want it. You know what I mean? And that's it. I'll keep my calm and move on. And that's what I'm doing. I'm back here at the 155-pound division. I'll show the world what's what over time. And that's it. And it begins on Saturday night against Dustin Poirier.
Finally, my last question. I heard Dustin say that he actually kind of enjoyed the fights during this past year without a crowd because he felt it was a bit more intimate and he was more focused. I would like to know, does having or not having a crowd affect you in any way when you're inside that octagon, or not really? You just forget everything.
Yeah, no, a fight is a fight for sure. You're inside that octagon. It's you know, I was actually very, very excited to compete with no crowd. You know, at the start I was like, oh, I don't know, you know, but over time then I was like, I really wanted to see and hear my power and my velocity and, you know, my precision. I wanted to hear my shots whistle through the air, you know, with no background noise, and really you know, put a statement out there of the difference. And I was almost, you know, I was close. I almost got to do it, but there's not that many fans, only a couple of thousand. My power, my speed, my precision, my velocity, you know, my whistle will still whistle strong on the night, and I'm excited to show.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. We're going to square these guys off for photo ops, and we will see you tomorrow.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.